Kraków. This is where St. Faustina spent the last years of her life. It's where she began. She was a novice and where she ended her days here. I'm just going to show you some images here. Just bring this in here. So as you walk into the chapel where she's buried, you have these just, I don't know if I can walk in here. Yeah. I'll walk in here to show you. So Łagiewniki is the capital of the Divine Mercy. And you have Jesus, I trust you, Gesù confido in te, in different languages. This was a convent founded by a Polish prince. We are here, and then this is the new Divine Mercy shrine that was built. So you have some of the sisters. Just something to note. I went to Mass here at 8:30. Not a single person received communion on the hand. Practically everybody was kneeling. Anybody that could kneel was kneeling for communion. I thought that was very beautiful. You know, it's our own goal in the church how we disrespect the Eucharist so often. I mean, we should become what we receive, but we should respect what we receive as well. It's just something to note, because a lot of these nuns were at the Mass this morning. So, the convent chapel. This is where we had Mass this morning. The image. Saint Faustina. She lived over 5 years in the Kraków Łagiewniki convent. She served consecutively as cook, gardener, doorkeeper. Here she spent her novitiate. She took her first and final vows and lived the last 5 years of her life marked by illness and suffering. She died on October 5th, 1938. She was beatified in 1993 and canonized in 2000. In every place of this shrine bears traces of the extraordinary meetings of the Apostle of the Divine Mercy with Jesus, the Blessed Mother, and the angels and saints. Here she received further revelations regarding the prophetic mission to proclaim to the world the message of mercy, the urgent call to spread the worship of mercy and prayer at the hour of mercy. Most of the diary of Saint Faustina was written in Kraków. In it, she wrote down not only the message of mercy and the new forms of worship revealed by Jesus, but also the mystical experience and the profound knowledge of God's merciful love. Her work is the most frequently translated book from the Polish language. The tomb. St. Faustina's tomb and her relics are found below the altar of the miraculous image of the merciful Jesus. Place of revelations. This is a special place chosen by God so that here he may pour out the grace of his mercy, St. John Paul II said. Lots of votive offerings. Shrine of the Divine Mercy. John Paul II, he visited this place as a worker, priest, shepherd of the Diocese of Kraków. As Pope, he came to the shrine for the first time in 1997 to pray in the chapel of the miraculous image of the merciful Jesus and at the tomb of St. Faustina. In 2002, he consecrated the basilica, and there entrusted the whole world to the divine mercy. Pope Benedict at the same shrine. In the footsteps of John Paul II, Pope Benedict XVI made a pilgrimage to Łagiewniki. Pope Benedict visited the shrine in 2006, convinced that Saint Faustina had received a message of mercy for all humanity and that it is the main message for our times. Pope Francis, I think especially of the great apostle of mercy, Saint Faustina, may she, who was called to enter the depths of divine mercy, intercede for us and obtain for us the grace of living and walking together according to the mercy of God and with his unwavering trust in him. So that was a visit to the chapel where she is, Saint Faustina is buried. There is also, if you come to Kraków, you have this chapel here. You have the new Divine Mercy Basilica, and then you have the St. John Paul II Basilica that was constructed by Archbishop Dziwisz, who used to be Pope John Paul II's secretary. It's not far from here as well. It's 5-minute, 10-minute walk, but it's full of Rupnik art. And I just do not feel like going there because at least his body is in Rome. no, this is actually a beautiful chapel. St. Faustina's Chapel for me is absolutely beautiful. And so I'm just going to show you here. This is the convent. So you have the convent here. You also have, in the summer, they can have masses. The hall of St. Faustina. This is the convent where St. Faustina would have lived. So it's just to give you an idea. It's not too cold today, but it's very beautiful. And so up here you have the Basilica of the Divine Mercy, which was built about 25 years ago, started construction. And then right behind it you have the other basilica, which I'm not a fan of the Rupert art style. But you can see it over there in the distance there. Let me see if I can make that. So that's St. John Paul II basilica there. And then this is the Divine Mercy. All built up. So the one thing about this, the basilica there for St. John Paul II, his shrine, the architecture is stunning, and as much as the building itself is, it really is very beautiful. It's just a pity of the mosaics inside. But
Czapeczkę.
tak, tak.
A się skończy, to wtedy można.
The guy said after we finished to go in during Mass, but I had Mass over in the small chapel. But I was just wanted to show you a little bit from the door of the shrine. But it's very beautiful. Do recommend you come here, and a beautiful place to come in Kraków, especially to the St. Faustina's tomb. And the same as in the other chapel, Polish don't have a tradition at all of receiving communion on the hand. I was just looking in there, because that was at the end of the Mass, They were still, many of them were still receiving communion kneeling. Um, why did us Irish take on this alien tradition of receiving communion on the hand, which has done nothing for the faith in Ireland? Nothing. Nothing for Eucharistic reverence. Maybe it is something to look at to return to our heritage, to our tradition as Roman Catholics. But anyway, beautiful place. God bless you from Kraków. Take care.